Hey there, history enthusiasts. Today, we're delving into a pivotal moment in time, the American Revolution. This monumental event has shaped the world as we know it and continues to inspire us today. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button below to join our historical journey. The American Revolution, from 1765 to 1783, was a time of rebellion against British rule that shaped the course of American history. This wasn't an impulsive uprising. It was a rebellion rooted in a series of events that stoked the fires of dissatisfaction among the American colonists. Picture this. It's the mid-18th century, and the colonists are growing increasingly frustrated with the British Crown's policies. The introduction of the Stamp Act in 1765 was a major trigger point. This law imposed a tax on all paper used for official documents, a move that was seen as a direct assault on the colonists' rights. The outcry was loud and clear. No taxation without representation. Moving forward to 1773, the infamous Boston Tea Party further escalated tensions. In protest against the Tea Act, a group of colonists, dressed as Native Americans, boarded British ships and dumped 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor. This act of defiance was a clear message to the British Crown. The colonists were no longer willing to tolerate unjust taxation and governance. These events, among others, stirred a sense of unity among the colonists, sparking a desire for self-governance. It was the beginning of a revolutionary journey, a journey that would lead them to challenge one of the most powerful empires of the time. The colonists' dissatisfaction, fueled by events like the Stamp Act and the Boston Tea Party, fueled a desire for independence. The conflict escalated into armed battles like Lexington, Concord, and Bunker Hill, where patriots fought bravely for their vision of freedom. The fires of rebellion had been lit, and they blazed fiercely across the 13 colonies as ordinary men and women rose up, armed and ready to face the might of the British Empire. Their first test came in April of 1775. The towns of Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts became the theater of the first armed conflict of the Revolution. British troops intent on seizing colonial military supplies clashed with local militias. The shots fired that day echoed around the world, marking the beginning of a brutal war for independence. From there, the conflict spread like wildfire. In June, the Battle of Bunker Hill saw the British forces launch a full-scale attack on the American troops. Despite their lack of formal military training, the American forces put up a valiant fight. Even though they ultimately lost the battle, their resilience sent a clear message to the British. The colonists were ready to fight and die for their freedom. As the battles raged on, the colonies knew they needed a unified front. In response, the Second Continental Congress convened, bringing together representatives from each of the 13 colonies. It was here, in the sweltering summer of 1775, that they appointed George Washington as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. A seasoned military veteran, Washington's strategic acumen and unwavering resolve would prove instrumental in the years to come. Meanwhile, the war continued to escalate. The American forces under Washington's leadership faced numerous challenges, including lack of training, inadequate supplies, and harsh winters. Yet they persevered, driven by their unwavering conviction in the cause of liberty. In the midst of the turmoil, a group of men worked tirelessly, drafting a document that would forever alter the course of history. The Declaration of Independence, primarily authored by Thomas Jefferson, was a bold statement of defiance and a beacon of hope. It outlined the colonists' grievances against the British Crown, and more importantly, it asserted their right to self-determination and independence. On the 4th of July, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. The document was then sent out to the colonies and read aloud to the public, marking the official break from British rule. The colonists were no longer fighting for their rights under British law. They were now fighting for the creation of a new, independent nation. The Declaration of Independence in 1776 symbolized the colony's unwavering commitment to breaking free from British rule. This momentous event marked a turning point in the Revolution. It was a statement of intent, a pledge to the world that the colonists were prepared to do whatever it took to secure their freedom. From this point forward, there was no turning back. The battle for independence had truly begun. Visionary leaders like George Washington and brilliant minds such as Thomas Jefferson shaped the foundation of a new nation based on liberty and democracy. The American Revolution wasn't just a war of weapons and battles, it was a war of ideas, ideologies, and principles. And the architects of these ideas were none other than the Founding Fathers. George Washington, a man of great integrity and leadership, took the helm as the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. His charisma and strategic brilliance were instrumental in steering the colonies through the storm of war. But beyond his military prowess, Washington's enduring legacy lies in his vision for a republic defined by justice, liberty, and the common good. A vision that would guide him during his presidency and shape the nation's future. Then there's Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, but perhaps best known as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His eloquent prose encapsulated the aspirations of a people yearning for freedom, laying down the fundamental principles of human rights and government by consent. His words, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal," still echo in our ears, a testament to his enduring influence. But let's not forget the other luminaries who contributed to the cause. There was Benjamin Franklin, a man of many talents and one of the key negotiators of the Treaty of Paris. John Adams, a fierce advocate for independence who would later become the second president. And, of course, Alexander Hamilton, a passionate proponent of a strong federal government whose financial plans laid the groundwork for the American economy. Each of these men played a pivotal role in the birth of the United States. They were thinkers and doers, dreamers and realists, leaders and followers. They disagreed, they argued, they compromised, but above all, they shared a common vision, a vision of a free and independent nation where the power rested with the people. The Founding Fathers were more than historical figures. They were men of vision who dared to dream of a better world and had the courage to act on that dream. They laid the philosophical foundation of the United States, a foundation built on the principles of liberty, equality, and democracy. So when we talk about the American Revolution, we're not just talking about a war, we're talking about a revolution of ideas, a revolution that gave birth to a new nation. And at the heart of this revolution were the Founding Fathers. Their ideas resonated, laying the groundwork for the birth of the United States. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 marked the end of the war, granting recognition to the United States as an independent nation. This treaty was more than a simple peace agreement. It was the birth certificate of a new nation, the United States of America, a country forged in the fires of revolution and tempered by the ideals of liberty and democracy. The Treaty of Paris was a turning point not only for the newly formed United States, but also for the world. It was a clear message that a small, determined group of people could stand up to a powerful empire and win. It was a beacon of hope that inspired other nations and peoples to fight for their own independence. The impact of the American Revolution reverberated across the globe, igniting sparks of revolution in France, Haiti, Latin America, and beyond. The ideals of democracy, liberty, and self-governance, championed by the American revolutionaries, found fertile ground in the hearts and minds of people worldwide. The American Revolution also transformed the geopolitical landscape. It shifted the balance of power, with Britain losing its stronghold over the American colonies, and the United States emerging as a new player on the global stage. This shift would have far-reaching implications for international relations and world history. The American Revolution was more than a war. It was a catalyst for change, a pivotal moment that set the stage for the modern era. It was a testament to the power of ideas, the resilience of the human spirit, and the indomitable will of a people determined to shape their own destiny. But the revolution was also a reminder of the cost of freedom. It was a war fought by ordinary people who made extraordinary sacrifices for the cause of liberty. Their courage and commitment continue to inspire us, reminding us that freedom is never free, but always worth fighting for. The impact of the revolution extended beyond America, influencing revolutions globally and shaping history. Thanks for joining me on this historical journey through the American Revolution. Your engagement fuels our exploration into the past. If this deep dive sparked your curiosity, show some love. Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more captivating history content. Until next time.